So you've made a phone call and talked to the motivated seller, and they have told you a price that you can't justify, or maybe you can justify, but it's just a little bit too high from what you think. And in doing your research, you're not real confident on the price because it's kind of all over the place. Or you're not getting a lot of information when you do research like the one that we are working on this video. So like I said before, you're going to Google the address. And right here is Zillow, and I always like Zillow because this property here, we have looked at the tax history, so we know that it assessed at 82.3. We know that we did a bid sheet and it came out to about 111. So now we're going to look at the property in the neighborhood. The properties in the neighborhood that have sold. Anything for sale is a dream. It is what we're hoping we can get out of it, not a sold, something that we have proven we can get out of it. Now I do this a lot of different ways. The property for 915 Madison Avenue, I'm pretty sure is a 2-bedroom. At least that's what they're saying. Yeah, it's a 2-1. So we can do a 2-1. You also have this here. So keep this in mind when you're looking at properties. You may have an apartment or a condo or multifamily. You're also going to have lots or land that you're going to look at. But we have a house, so we don't want to look at any of these other ones. We don't care about the manufactured homes, townhomes, multifamily. And I pay pretty close attention to the square footage. So the square footage is 864 here. So and you can put in anything here. So you can type in a number if you wanted to. But I'm going to do 750 to 1,000. Done. Now I'm going to look over here and see what I can show. Now, here's the one thing. Okay, I missed it. So 1,000. Done. Here's the thing. This shows us all over Des Moines. So our numbers are all over the place. In order to get into your neighborhood, you are going to type in the address up here in the search box, if it cooperates with me. 915 Madison Avenue. And you don't need everything most of the time, but you're going to bring this back up. Then you're going to X out of it. Now we're in closer. And you're going to see why Zillow has decided that it's going to be worth it now, or what it's worth. So we've got one on 11th, which is 3 blocks over, 2-1. Brick. I don't think really that's a fair comparison, but we do have one at 113 9th Street. This one's just down the road. So, you know, that comp's pretty good. We got one 130. It looks pretty good too, but it's a pretty standard looking home. I will also point out the years. So this one's 19. These 3 here are 18. These 4 are 18. And then we've got this other one here that was sold in February of 18, 21836. This one's just right around the corner, couple blocks. So this one here, it's a story and a half. Me personally, I wouldn't take this one into account. I wouldn't take this one into account, or this one here. This one here I would. This one here I would. So I really think my 111 comp is pretty stinking close. I'm pretty happy with that number. So that's what Zillow's going to show you. That's why I use what I use, and why I go to where I do when I'm looking at Zillow and that. And looking for an ARV, I want to look a little bit deeper. and I want to understand what the trends are and what the houses look like around that area. Now, really, if you can't decide, set up an appointment and go look at the property. Set up a site visit and go look at the property, and go early so you can drive the neighborhood. I usually drive 2 or 3 blocks from the house, and I usually don't need to go a bunch of, different directions and all of that. I just need to stay within 3 blocks and drive the neighborhood. I'm looking for really run down homes. So if this home, if I'm going to buy it as a fix up, I need to be able to make sure that it's going to not be the rows in with a bunch of weeds. So I've got to think about that as well. If the house that I'm looking at, buying or selling, I've got to look for if that's going to be a rose, or if it is going to be just a bunch of weeds and it's part of the weeds in the neighborhood. So the weeds are going to be boarded up windows, high grass, cars in the yard. I mean, around here we joke about having couches out on the porches, stuff like that. So you're just really going to be paying attention to that. But you're going to go look at this house and walk through it and really justify it with your own eyes. And then still, the motto is, when in doubt, sign it. We'll see you on the next video.